Well, let's just on education, but to our earlier story now. We're engaging the General Secretary of the National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations, NCPTAs. That's Raphael Kofi Gapson. Raph, I know you're in support of this very move, but how would you respond to people who say your hairstyle should have nothing to do with discipline and academics in school?
I appreciate their concerns, and that we are in a growing democracy, so everybody has his views. But the truth of the matter is that if you look at schools that have actually been able to become a trailblazer, and they've been able to set standards and be able to groom model global citizens across the globe, and they are icons that we are all looking up to, you can see that the school's ability to be able to maintain the status quo has to do with all aspects of its discipline being enforced to the latter. And when we talk about discipline in schools, we are not only looking at only the dress code, we are not looking at the fingernails, we are not looking at the type of shoe they wear and the type of dress codes they wear. We are also looking beyond that, the type of mindset and the training and career development that we try to put into this our young students as they go up. And you see, the challenge that we face with this kind of issues today is because we are not enforcing them at the basic school levels. Because they say charity begins at home. And I believe that if the foundation is destroyed, the Bible says, what can the righteous do? So the student that we saw, that at the secondary school level, he's going for admission, and then one of the first options is that, look, we have to trim your hair. If this thing was actually psychologically inculcated in him, not only in a public school, but also in a private school, these things will not even become an issue that we are discussing today. You get the point. So we have to fix it at the right place. The minister is speaking not just for secondary school, even though that platform at the Maoli, let me commend Maoli for the 75th anniversary. I think it was also such a very beautiful and novel thing. And you could see that when the minister made the statement, you could see the resonation at the base. Everybody had agreed with the minister that these are things that we need to go back and revisit.
The world is evolving.
Yes.
Don't you think the time is now for the ministry and GS to actually revise the codes of conduct to reflect modern trends without what's the name?
Every aspect of it that can change. I'm saying for this one, we as parents, we are together with the ministry. We are saying that, look, they should even tighten it more. They should go back to the basic schools and tighten it more. If there are things that will be changing, we'll look at it. There are other areas about the code of, if you call us for us to discuss that thing, we can pick it page by page and look at the gray areas, and we will tell us these areas are not. Look, these things that the minister has said, that they say they should enforce. You know, the schools don't have barbering grounds.
Exactly.
And for that matter, you might, if you are not careful, you might get a teacher who will just probably have a personal issue with somebody. And just, you know, those days when we are in school, they'll just come and put it there, scissors there, and so that it creates problems. But if we are able to agree, both the school management, the PTAs, and other stakeholders agree, look, in this school, let's have a barbering shop. Let's have a decent price fixed. At the end of every month, every student should be able to. I think when we do these things, and it's part of the school culture, it will make these things become a decent. Unless you have a student who is in the proverbial Bible like Samson and Delilah. Samson's strength is in his hair. So if that child, his strength is in his hair, that one is an exception.
But look at it, let's just suppose this with the Achimota Rastafarian issue. Don't you think there's a time coming where maybe a resilient parent would want to test the law and make sure maybe at the end of the day, he or she can win?
My point is that is why I use the Samson and the Delilah incident. In such cases, there are exceptions to it. But I'm saying that the general rule is that is the way we should go. That one, we can't do anything about it. Assuming you are in this studio and then, at least it's part of your studio policy that your dress code, your haircut, even the way you shave your hair and everything. So why are you saying that we should not do it at that base? So look, this thing, there's no debate about it. But some people are always.
It should be debatable.
There's no debate about it.
You saw the little girl. She was crying.
She was crying because they didn't enforce it from the base. But if she have gotten it from the onset,
she's half caste.
I'm saying that if she have gotten it from the onset, that this is our culture, this is our country. Look, you can't import a foreign law into our country. It doesn't work. We have our laws, and when if you want to live in the space called Ghana, that jurisdiction, you have to go by our laws.
I'm sure we still stay long on this but because of our limited time, we have to end it here. Raphael Kofi Gapson is the General Secretary of the National Council for PTAs, and that was his take on this very issue. And we are active on Facebook, like I mentioned. Just engage us. Hopefully, read your comments and share them to the rest of the world. And now, futuristic homes built with disposed plastic bottles. This is how some locals of Abuentem are turning an environmental adversity into an opportunity. A move aimed at revolutionizing the country.